Scrappin with Sheri and page 80 in the sketchbook. Now, I'll tell you, when I looked at this sketch, my initial thought was, you can't even see the pictures, and that's bothersome to me. They are there, but they kind of blend into all of the extra things going on. This is a beautiful page, don't get me wrong, but just really not my style. So the first thing I started with was laying out my pictures to determine where they might fit. And you can see they've cut theirs down to 3x4s, 3.5x4s. I had full-size pictures of this particular event and didn't really want to do a lot of cutting. So I have laid mine out kind of like a puzzle on my page here. And that's the way I intend to do them. I'm still getting multiple pictures on here. Instead of a title, I'm using this as my title with this that shows we walked 181 stairs to get to the gorge. I'm using 2 4x6s on the side and then 2 4x6s across the bottom of it rather than 3 smaller pictures. So overall, I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures on here. They got 5 in a title. Don't really have a lot to say about this particular event, but I will have a facing page with a few more pictures on it. So if I come up with things to journal, I can always do that on my facing page. So let me go ahead and stick these down, because once that's done, all we've got to do is add some of those borders. And I wanted to show you this. You know, when I had these printed, some of my borders didn't print off very thick. They were very missized. So I've just been cutting off the bottom of some of my pictures and flipping it over to create my border underneath. Just something new that I learned recently, and I wondered why I hadn't been doing that all along. But it's working for me now. And it's going to be kind of difficult to get these puzzles arranged. But my goal is to just make them all butt up right against each other so that I can add the borders on there and you still see all my pictures. Oh, this is one too. This is a postcard, obviously. It's printed on it. And I needed to mat it to make it look like all the rest. So I had one photo I really didn't need because I have others that look very similar. So I cut my postcard down just a touch, flipped the photo over, and used the back of it as my matting for my postcard. Never thought of that before, have we? It's amazing what you can do with what you've got laying around when you just want to get pages done. Now this one I'm not going to stick hard yet because we're going to have things sliding underneath it. And this one is going to have to go under it all. Because what I really want showing is that sign that tells how many stairs we walked. And then this one will go over to this side. I hope this is not one that you'll look at and think, oh, that is way too hard, because that was my initial reaction on this. Boy, that looks very time consuming, but they show lots of borders on there, and I'm okay with that, but I'd rather have all my pictures on there than lots of borders. And I hear that from a good many of you as well. This is supposed to be about my pictures, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Occasionally, I love doing those busy pages with lots of frou-frou stuff. But look at that. We've already got all those pictures on that page. And the last thing I'm going to do is add some borders. So I went through my binder, and I found this that I liked a lot with the moss and the log. I like the fact that I can use it to cover up these campers and vehicles here. And I can angle it down to kind of work into my waterfall. I'm not really losing anything, and it still shows a little bit of my color below. And I chose that background color from the Leave Nothing Behind paper because it matched the colors of these falls. Now, the only thing I'm going to do before I stick this down, I'm going to trim this edge of this picture right here, just because I don't like that poking out from underneath that log. That's a little distracting to me. And I'm just trimming it. Oh, I trimmed my paper too, y'all. How great is that? Now we got to see if we can cover it all up. Yeah, we'll just put the log right there. You know, sometimes it just doesn't work, especially early in the morning. So I still covered what I intended to cover. Now there's a little piece of picture showing right there. If you were thinking I was going to make this too easy and you were going to get off easy today, you should have known better, right? All right. And we've got that edge of that picture cut off. So they showed a border here. This looks more like a torn paper border. Yeah, in fact, you can see that it's torn. I used this instead of that. I wanted a thin border to go here because I don't really want to cover the pictures. And I found this ferny looking border, which I think goes along with what we're doing. And for that, I'm going to need the repositionable tape because it's a pretty small one. And if you're wondering where all my borders come from, I can't even tell you. I buy almost every border that comes out just because I love the length of the borders. I like having them to make my pages quickly. I like the variations in color on them. I use these a lot more often, really, than my border cartridges because I just like the color variations. Now, I'm giving this one a snip because I want to make sure that Tequamanen shows right there. If you've never been here, this is in Michigan. Really fun place to hike. There's a lower falls and an upper falls. We did both of those based on the recommendations of some ladies I met at a crop. They were like, oh, if you have time, you should go to Tequamanen Falls. Beautiful, beautiful area. And the color of the falls was just amazing. We had never seen anything like that. And I'm just going to throw that one right back in. All right, so we did a little surgery right there. Got that fixed up. And then they showed triple borders with some extra paper at the top. I am strictly going with a sticker border. And I just pulled this tree border I've had laying around with my vacation stuff because I knew there would come a time when I would need one border. And that's all I had left from whatever I used it for to begin with. And I'm going to just line it up right along the top here. Not really covering anything important in my pictures. And I'm just trying to get those trees kind of even along the top edge. But here again, I like it that I can still see the color above there. Now, some people wouldn't like their trees flying up in the air. That doesn't really bother me on this page. This is a busy page anyway. But page 80 is done. We've got all those pictures on that page. We were able to get some design in there. And we were able to use up some borders that were left in my stash. So, page 80 complete. And until I see you next time with probably a longer video, happy scrapping.